So guys, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how deep each detector can go. So we've got the GPZ 7000, the GPX 6000, we have the SDC 2300, and we have all the coils for the 6000. The 11 mono, the 14 double D, and the 17-inch mono, the brand new one that's just out. So guys, what we're going to do is we have PVC pipe put in at different depths between 2 inches and 50 mil, one at 100, 150, 200, 300, and so on. And at the bottom, we have a tiny 1 gram minted bar from the Perth Mint. We actually destroyed the packaging, put them in there in the purposes of making this video. There's near on $1,000 worth of gold in this particular test. So guys, if you're getting any value out of this video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. It does help out the channel a little bit and helps you be up to date on what we're coming out with next. I've seen a lot of videos online that do this, but none, I think, to this level. And I really wanted to find out exactly how deep each one can go, which is better than what settings are best, what coils are best, all of that. And we're gonna run you through in this video. So what we have here is we have some pipes ranging from 100 mil all the way up to 500 mil. In 50 mil increments, so 100, 150, 200, 250, all the way up to 500. And what we're going to do is we have some 1 gram minted Perth Mint gold. I think it's 99.9% purity. And what we're going to do is we're going to put one of these at the bottom of each one of these depths and then run the detector across to see how they go. And we'll play the sounds for you so you can see what it actually sounds like. Also, what we did find is we had to take them out of the tamper-proof cases. Now, the Perth Mint's really not mucking around when they say these are tamper-proof. Like, we started off with a Stanley knife, cutting the back off them. You know, that was a bit dicey. Then we thought, well, what we could do is maybe run the Stanley knife down the middle, cut the back off. It literally took us like 5 minutes just to get that out. And then what we decided to do in the end, Matt actually came up with it, we cut one out perfectly. I mean, even if you cut it out perfect like that and you put it back in, you're gonna hell no, right? There's just no way of tampering with these things. And then in the end, Matt actually figured it out, was to run the Stanley knife down the side and then peel them apart like this. So much easier. But what's really interesting is see this void, a void if removed. If you put this back, what you'll notice is you can never line it up perfect. And we tried to do this halfway so you could actually see it. But yeah, once it's been pulled apart, you'll know. And then, yeah, obviously lastly, once you pull it off completely, it looks something like that. So, pretty cool. Now, I know it's a bit of, it's a bit overkill to actually cut up minted, tamper-proof cases, because you pay a premium for that on the gold, but we actually wanted to do this at 10 different pieces, step them out, bury them in the ground. The other thing that we're going to try, we gave it a bit of a shot, but we don't know how well it works, is to try and drill down for the pipe size and put the pipe in. But because the sand is so soft, it all caves in. So guys, with the bullion, I mean, this is just a 1 gram piece. It's quite thin. If that's something you're interested in, we do get into a bit of bullion. So if it's something you want to know a little bit more about how to buy gold and silver, what's the best type, why and how and when and where to, stay tuned and we'll let us know in the comments and we can shoot some more videos around that as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to find out if blue tack's actually got any metal in it. So we'll run the pinpointer and a detector over it just to make sure that it's not. And then what we'll do is we'll actually take out a bit of blue tack, put one of these 1 grammers in the bottom of each one of these caps, and make sure that it's always at the bottom of each one just to ensure that the depth is correct. All right, so we're just going to try our blue tack method out of putting it inside one of these pipes. Oh, it's picking up the table. So we know that that's definitely going off. And you can see on the blue tack, there's no signal or anything with the pinpointer. So all good, we can see that on the pipe, all plastic. So we should be all good to go. Cool. All right, so just put some blue tack in here. You can see that's what it'll actually look like at the bottom of the pipe. So nice and flat, should be able to pick it up really, really well. Cool. So what we're gonna do now, guys, is we're gonna start digging. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and drill this down so we can get all those pipes in. So you can see here's one that we've tried before. Alright, so as you can see, it looks like we can get to a depth of about, I don't know what's that, maybe 100 mil, 200 mil maybe. So we'll put our first one in, but obviously we're going to have to dig the deeper ones. Let's grab the first pipe. Hey guys, we're just thinking, should we leave it with an air gap? Which is what we were going to do, but we know that a lot of people, or some people will say, hey, you know, you should put the dirt in there, it's not a real test, blah, blah, blah. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to fill each one with dirt. We've still got our blue tack in there, so it'll keep the gold in there. And that way it'll be pretty much as if it was in the ground. Okay, as we can see, that is now full of dirt. We've run the detector over this area as well, so we know that there's no signals or anything in there to mess that up. All right, so here's our 100 mil pipe. Looks like we may just get the 100 mil. Yeah, we'll just have to dig the rest. We'll space them out in a big long line and go from there. All right, so the problem we just had is after about 400, we had to get the jackhammer and the drill bit and actually drill down, right? And what we did is we bought a drill bit the same size as the pipe, okay, or a little bit bigger. So we thought, oh yeah, well they'll just slide straight down, which they do. But then, of course, all the fine sand gets on them and you try and pull them up and you can't. So we just dug this one down 400 mil and they got stuck and I pulled it up. And then, of course, the actual cap came out and the gold nugget was down there. We spent probably an hour and a half jackhammering around it to get it out. So now we put some of this tape. It's not conductive. We've already checked with the detector and also the pinpointer. And we've taped this up, so now when we put them in the hole, we'll also make the hole a bit bigger. So we put them in there, we can actually pull them out. So there you go, pro tip. Literally spent over an hour and a half digging that sucker out. All right, so we'll finish off these holes, guys, and we'll show you how it all plays out. So anyway, guys, stay tuned. We're gonna run through each one of these depths, different coils, different detectors. You'll be able to see which one is better and why. And yeah, the jury will finally be out on how deep each detector goes. Hey guys, in this video we have the SDC 2300 and we are going to do a depth test. How deep can it actually go? Now to do that, we actually have pipes in the ground, PVC pipes with a 1 gram minted bar at the bottom of them. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go through and test what it sounds like at 100 mil, 150 mil, 200 mil, 250, all the way to 500 mil, see how far the 2300 can actually go. Now we are just going to put it on the standard settings. Number 3 in the middle here, we're just going to turn it on and away we go, pretty basic sort of thing. We'll go through, we'll do the set it up and then we'll go through and do the test and see how far it goes. So if you stay to the end of the video, guys, we'll show you exactly how far the SDC 2300 goes at this depth and what it sounds like at each point along the way. So let's see how we go with the SDC 2300. How deep does it go? We're going to start off with 100 mil. With a 1 gram nugget. All right, so you're going to pick that up every day, whether you're walking low, whether you're going fast or slow. Very cool. Let's move on to 150 mil, see how this pans out. Again, I'll start by walking out fast, sort of covering some area. Come in a bit lower. At about 150 mil. I can hear it, but I'm going to have to go a bit slower and hit it over the top. So again, if I'm just sort of going a bit faster, oh, I will hear it. It is a lot fainter. So that's 150 mil. See how we go at 200. So I probably wouldn't hear that if I was just walking along detecting, okay? It's not really super clean. There's a little sound there. I think if I was gridding, you know, like if I was gridding an area, I would hear that. Particularly with headphones on, it's a bit hard because I'm listening through the wind. But you would pick that up if you had your headphones on and you were gridding, you would pick that one up. I would say the 2300 just on the standard settings that we had picked there. So if you think about 150 is a good working depth, which is a pretty good depth really for a small detector. Remember, you are looking for those smaller pieces as well. If you had a bigger piece, you could probably go a bit deeper. Again, these are just 1 gram minted bars laid perfectly flat. So guys, what you could do is you can get different coils for the 2300. We only have this one at this point, but I think another good test would be like, can the bigger coils go deeper? You can get a couple of different size coils. We might buy them and save that for another video. But guys, let us know if you do have a bigger coil, like how deep can you go? If you've got any comments or suggestions on how we can improve this video, please let us know. How deep can the new GPX 6000 actually go? What we have here is we have a different depth pipes buried anywhere from 100 mil all the way up to 500 mil in 50 mil increments. So we have 100, 150, 200, 250, and so on, 9 of them. Now at the bottom of them, we actually have a 1 gram minted bar to 99.9% purity from the Perth Mint. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through and see, well, how deep can the GPX 6000 actually go? And we're gonna run across it and let you listen to the signals. We have a mic right on the speaker. We have a mic on me as well. So you should be able to hear it nice and clear as we go through. Now, if you hang to the end of the video, guys, of course, we're gonna show you how deep it goes. We might have a play around with the settings to just see how much we can actually tune this in. A little bit later, we are actually gonna do the 3 different coils. We're gonna do all the current coils. So we have the 11-inch mono coil here, and then we have the 14-inch coil double D, and we have the brand new 17-inch mono coil that we're gonna be testing out. So we're gonna see how deep can you go with the different coils. When you buy the 6000, it does come with these two, the top two. This one's brand new, fresh. We just got this the other day, so we've been testing it out this week. So stay tuned, we'll check it out. How deep does it all actually go? All right, ready? Let's see. So come across. Again, this is 100 mil, 1 gram minted bar. Every day you will hear that walking across. 150 mil should be 6 inches deep. So we'll come in a bit fast, see how we go. Yep, I'm definitely hearing that. So next one, let's head over to the 200 mil. I'll come in fast, like if I was detecting ground quickly, sort of exploring. Definitely gonna hear that at 200 mil. Okay, next one, 250 mil. 250 mil should be 10 inches. So let's have a look and see what we've got at 10 inches. If I come in nice and fast again. I will hear that if I walk over it. Okay, a bit fainter, but you'll definitely hear it, even if you're going fast. Cool. 300 mil, let's check out 300 mil. So let's come in and have a look at the 300, see how that goes. Come in nice and fast. Now you would hear that maybe if you were gridding. If you were coming in, if you were covering some ground and you're going a bit fast like this, you're probably not going to hear it. It's very windy at the moment too, so there's a lot of wind making the detector a little bit noisy. The ground's actually not that noisy. If we come in, you would have to go really slow. Even then, I think you're going to struggle at 300 mark. So we'll come over to the 350, see if we can pick that up. No, you're not going to get that. So I would say that the 6000 is good, just basic settings with the 11 monocoil, up to about 300 mil with a 1 gram minted bar. I would say, you know, comparable, that's just going to be like a small 1 gram nugget. Also bear in mind that these bars are actually laying perfectly flat. So I mean, if they were upright, the signal would probably be less. We've just laid them all perfectly flat just to make sure that it's consistent throughout the whole test. Also, all the tubes are filled with dirt all the way, so there's no air gap or anything like that, with the sand out of the hole that they've come in. We've also pre-tested the holes to make sure that there's no ground noise or anything like that. So in summary, I would say that the 6000 with the 11-inch monocoil, somewhere between the 250 to 300 mark is where you're going to pretty much cap out on a 1 gram piece of gold. Okay, so we're going to go from the 11-inch mono, this comes standard in the kit, to the 14-inch double D, which I showed you earlier. That's the one that if you buy this, you'll actually get 2 coils in the bag with the 6000. Obviously, the smaller ones, smaller nuggets, and also smaller depths, and we're hoping, I haven't tested it yet, that the bigger one might go a little bit deeper. So stay tuned, let's see how that one pans out. All right guys, so I'm just swapping these out. You obviously have to undo the cable. You might need to give it a little pull as you twist it out when you're swapping the coils out. And we're going to swap out from the 11-inch mono, it's a little screw here, to the 14-inch double D coil on the 6000. And when you put these on, make sure you put the grommets on before you put the screw in. It will make your life a lot easier. Going to do how deep MINELAB double D 14-inch coil on it. So this is the bigger coil that comes in the bag. And we're going to go through and test out these different holes. Guys, the double D is more for like mineralized sands and salt flats and that sort of thing. But I mean, in this case, hopefully we can get a bit more depth because that's what we're testing today. Differences in depth from the smaller coil and the bigger coil. This is 100 mil at 1 gram. If I'm walking along, I'm definitely going to ping that nugget, okay? So let's have a look and see how we go at 150 mil. Again, with a bit of speed, sort of recovering an area. A little bit quieter than the last one, but I'm definitely going to hear that walking over it, whether I'm gridding or just walking fast. Let's have a look at 200 mil. How do I go at 200 mil? With a bigger coil, walking in, a little bit fast. Yep, I'm going to hear that, okay? Slowly. Definitely going to hear that, okay? Coming in at 250 mil. What's interesting with that is it actually picked it up before the coil got there. Yeah, it's interesting. It's picking it up sort of about here instead of in the middle of the coil. So 250 mil. Bit noisy, which the just so renowned for it, the 6000s. Coming in. You are going to hear that. You'd have to be gridding, I would say, at 250 mil to really hear that properly. I don't think if you're walking past it, I don't think you're going to get it. Well, maybe. Yeah, you probably would. If you're walking along, decent detecting speed. Depending on how much ground noise you got, if you had your detector nice and quiet, you would hear it. Okay, so this is 300 mil. Let's see how it goes. Coming in. Yeah, I don't think you're going to hear it. Yeah, you're not going to get that, I don't think, at 300 mil. So what's really interesting then is the difference between the 14-inch double D and the tiny little 11-inch. Look, they're about the same on a standard ground with a 1 mil minted bar. So I mean, in all easiness, I would probably prefer the smaller coil. You probably will cover more ground with this, but I mean, I don't have to wear, with the smaller one, I don't really have to wear a bungee or anything. It's quite light and easy to use. So I'd probably opt for the smaller coil. Very, very interesting. Guys, if you've got any comments or questions or anything that you think that we should have tried, or any suggestions, please let us know in the comments below so we can create better content for you. So guys, what we're going to do now is we're actually going to swap out the 14-inch double D to the 17-inch mono, which is just over here. And I'll set that up now, put that on there, and we'll do the same test, see what we come up with. So guys, let's see how deep the 17-inch mono coil actually goes. So let's turn this bad boy on, and then we'll try and get the hose out of it and get it started. Clean this up a bit. Okay. So this is at 100 mil. If I was walking along with this coil, I'm definitely going to hear that, right, at 100 mil. So let's see how this same one goes at 150 mil. Again, I'm definitely going to hear that walking across that fast or slow. Okay, so let's move on to the 200 mil. Definitely going to hear it at 200 mil. Let's go to 250 mil, so about 10 inches. Few rocks, I'm walking along. A little bit faint, a little bit quieter. I definitely still hear that though. You would stop and you would dig that up. All right, the 11-inch mono and also the 14-inch double D capped out at about this point, couldn't really hear it. So if this can do it, this will be the better coil for depth than the other two. Let's have a look. Definitely. So I would probably walk over that if I was going fast. So I would say that the 300 mil for the bigger coil is definitely a win. If I was gridding, I'd definitely pick it up, you know, if you're going that little bit slower. There it is there. Very cool. So, very nice. Let's see if it can hit the 350 mil mark. Well, it doesn't look like we can get the 350 mil. I'll just come in again and go really slow. I don't think so. Somewhere between 300 and 350 mil is where the 17-inch is going to cap out with a 1 gram minted bar at the bottom of some conduited pipes. The other thing to realize, I think, at this point is if you're digging 350 mil, that's a long way to dig, okay? In most cases, in the ground out here, like in Western Australia, you know, you're usually getting a jackhammer or a crowbar or something out after about 300 mil in most cases. So I think the use case of the 600 is actually really good. Obviously, if you wanted to ping those bigger or larger nuggets, we'd have to do a test with, you know, more gold or, you know, more nuggets in terms of weight at the deeper depths to really give the big coils a run for their money. Hey guys, Ben here. We're going to find out how deep can the GPZ 7000 go and at what depths. We have 9 different holes dug here with plastic pipes put in, and at the bottom of each one we have a 1 gram minted bar laid perfectly flat. anywhere from 100 mil, which is 2 inches, all the way up to 500 mil, which is 20 inches. And we're going to go through, do the signal on every single one. And if you hang to the end, we're actually going to show you what depth we can get to on just the standard settings. Then we're going to play with some of the more advanced settings and see how deep we can actually go with the GPX 7000. I mean, there's a lot of talk that the 7000 will go 3 times deeper than any other detector. We're going to put that to the test today and show you exactly how deep that does go. Hey guys, if you're getting any value out of this video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification so you can be updated on any of the other cool videos that we have coming up. Make sure you check our playlist. We've got heaps of cool stuff that you can check out as we go on. All right, so I have the 7000 GPZ 7000 MINELAB detector, and I'm going to be running through all these different spots. I also have the wireless audio here, and inside right on top of that, I also have a special wireless mic to pick up the exact sound straight on top of it. And then I have obviously the signal. So let's see how we go. So this is the 50 mil. Under there, this is what it should sound like with a 1 gram minted piece. So you're definitely going to hit that. If you're walking along, that's what it'll sound like. Cool, so let's have a look at the 100 mil. All right, so I've got the 7000, GPX 7000. I have 100 mil in the ground in the pipe, which you've seen before, and it also has a 1 gram minted bar in there. So let's have a look at what that would sound like. So if you were coming across a nugget, small little nugget that was 100 mil deep, this is what it should sound something like. So you're definitely going to hit that. Also, we've also filled that with the actual sand from the ground. So, you know, that's exactly what that would sound like in the ground. So let's have a look at what 150 mil would sound like. Now this is all just the standard settings of the GPZ 7000. So when you do the auto start, you reset all your settings. There's no funny settings here or anything, just standard coil, standard settings with all the detecting. So we'll come into this one. So you're coming in. It's a little bit fainter, but again, you know, if you're walking over that, even if you're walking quickly, you know, you're going to hit that every time. Okay, so we have 100, 150. So I think 100 mil is 4. So that was 4 inches, the first one. This is going to be 6 inches. So 4 inches, then 6 inches. And then we have another one here at 200 mil, which is going to be 8 inches for those of us in Imperial. So let's have a look. We'll come in. Should be slightly fainter as we come in. Again, still quite a good signal. If you walk over that pretty quickly, you're going to hear it. Perfect. Nice and low. Okay, so it's 8 inches or 200 mil. Let's come out to 250. See how this one pans out. Again, we'll come in fast and then I'll do it slow. Whoa, see that's much fainter, right? Hang on a second. All right, let's do that again. So this is at 10 inches or 250 mil. Let's come in and see. I'll come in fast and see if we pick it up. All right, so you will hear that. Now, obviously if you're going, here's a pro tip for those just getting started, low and slow with your detecting, you'll definitely hear that, okay? So it'll give you a lot of time to react to that, particularly in grouty noise, where it's a bit noisy in the ground. Very cool. So no problems picking that one up. Let's come in at 300 mil. So 300 mil is going to be 12 inches, I think. Okay. So I'll come in and we'll do 300 mil. I'll come in fast and I'll do it slow with the detector. So 300 mils, 12 inches. Let's see how it pans out. Come in. Okay, so it is quite faint. Okay, so this is why you'd want to be doing a bit lower and slower at this sort of speed. There we go. You should hear that. I mean, most detector speed, you know, I sort of detected about this speed. I'm going to hear that going across. Okay, next one we have 350 mil or 14 inches. Again, I'll come in fast and slow, see how we go. A 1 gram minted bar. So I'll probably walk straight over that if I was going fast. If I'm detecting along, I'm not going to hear that, right? If I go slow, however, can I get it? Just. Well, I'd have to line the middle of the coil up exactly as I go. Or maybe, I may pick that up. So that's probably, I guess, you're still going to hear it, but are you going to hear it as you go quickly? Possibly not. Okay, it's about 350, 1 gram. Starts to peak out a little bit. Let's come over to 400 mil. It's 400 mil, 16 inches or something. So 400 mil at 16 inches, let's see how this goes. I don't think I'm going to pick this up fast. No. Let's clean the top of it off. Now if I come in really slow, I can just get it. But if I'm coming fast at this, now I may think that that's ground noise or something. I'm not. Am I digging it up at that point? Maybe, but it's a long way. 400 mil is a long way down to get 1 gram, so. I can just hear it at 400 mil. All right, cool. So if you're out finding a new spot or you're sort of just doing a bit of exploring, you are not going to pick that up. If you were gridding an area, like you knew there was some gold and you were being really careful with your detector, you may. But yeah, very faint sort of signal there. 450, 18 inches, 450 mil. Again, it's going to have to be really slow with this one. Now, I think it caps out at about somewhere between 400 and 450, 16 to 18 inches. You're gonna. No. You're not stopping for that, no matter how you go along the journey. All right, cool. And then we also have one at 500, which of course, if it's capping out at 450, chances are you're not going to get it. Okay, so this is the last hole, 500 mil. So 500 mil should be 20 inch. So last hole, 500 mil at 20 inches. Let's see how we go. Get me nice and slow, nice and low. No. Now, the other thing to bear in mind here is that each one of these each one of these bars is laid perfectly flat at the bottom. When you're doing maybe a 1 gram nugget or something this small, it may be round in shape or long and up in straight in shape. So you're probably not going to get, well, it may be better, it may be worse, it might be a bit longer than what we have here. The reason we've done it this way though is just for consistency in every single hole. That's what you're going to get. I mean, 1 gram piece is really small. But I mean, if you're pulling, what did we come up with? 450 mil off of 7,000 at one gram. That's a long way down. That's pretty impressive. So pretty happy with that. Okay, now the other thing we can do is we can actually change the settings inside of the 7,000 to see if we can pick this up on a setting that will allow for deeper detection. We'll show you how to do that, what that is, and see if we can pick up maybe the 450 and the 500 at 1 gram. Okay, so guys, when you get these and you set them up in the standard settings with a quick start, it's going to start in the high yield setting. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to move it across into the general, see if we can pick up those extra depths. and then we can move over into the high yield. So we just select it across. It's actually the second menu across from the quick start. So there's your quick start, which you start off every time you use your detector, and then there's the high yield one just there. So all right guys, cool. So we're gonna go test that out and see how that goes. All right guys, because we have changed the settings, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna do the quick track with a little coil that's provided. So you just push the button on the bottom of here, try and just make that a bit less noisy. There we go. Cool, take your finger off the bottom here, just there. 500, 450, 400. Let's see how we go. Go fast. Not going to pick it up. We go slow. I think it's actually worse on the general, to be honest. So let's come back to the 350. So about 350 on general. I think we got to 400 last time on the high yield. So, you know, the high yield actually performs better than the general setting, which is really interesting. In terms of depth, let's just come in here and have another look. And that's only just, I mean, really I'd probably have to come back to the 300 to really nail that. So, yes, I've almost lost like 100 mil. Well, 100 mil easy, because I was pinging it at 400 before to get a decent sort of signal. Even that is super faint. So yes, I'm not really rating that general setting very much at all. Maybe it's better for pinging lower pieces. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that particular setting and why you'd want to use it. Make sure you leave me some comments in the chat box below. We just wanted to set these up, do a test and see what actually happens. All right, thanks guys. We're going to move on to changing this now to the extra deep setting. So we're going to change this to the extra deep setting, and we reckon that'll hopefully help us ping some extra deep nuggets. Okay, so now we've obviously gone into that same setting. We've selected the one furthest on the right, which is the ultra deep or extra deep setting. And we're going to actually test that out, see how that goes. So on the first setting, which was the high yield, we got to about 400, maybe 450. On the general setting, it was 300 to maybe 350. Now we're going to move over to the deep setting. Hopefully we get a bit more depth. Again, because we've changed the settings, we want to put the, just quickly do a quick track. Just quickly do that. Oh, looks like that's working pretty good. All right, so let's see how we go. Okay, so let's start at 300 on the ultra deep, see if we can ping it. Coming a bit faster. I can hear it, but I would have to come in really slow, okay? Really slow there. So I mean, maybe the extra deep is for like bigger nuggets at depth, maybe not the smaller nuggets at depth, but I'm pretty sure just on the general setting I got a deeper, like a louder signal here than I did on the extra deep. But let's see how we go at 350. Let's have a bit of a look. Maybe you would hear that if you were gridding, and like, you know, maybe just, I don't think that this is, I wouldn't stop for that as I was walking along. So maybe 300 again to 350. So the extra deep, very similar to the general setting. So the extra deep is very similar to the general setting. You know, realistically, on the standard setting that it comes with the high yield, I was able to get, you know, an extra 100 mil deep, probably about a similar sort of signal. So, I mean, really when you start your detector, just leaving it on the basic settings when you do your quick start, it's probably a really good thing to do. So yeah, really interesting. If you got any comments or questions, guys, maybe I've done this wrong, or you're supposed to do, you know, deeper nuggets, bigger nuggets at deeper depths, you know, or different ones to different settings, let us know. This is just what we found in this particular test. So what we've done is we've tested each one of these detectors and we have the results of each depth. Now we'll also put to bed, the 6,000 versus 7,000, which goes deeper and why. Let's get started with probably the smallest detector, which is the SDC 2300. This one here, this blue one. Now this one actually capped out at about 150 mil comfortably. 200 mil, it couldn't go past that at a 1 depth. About 150 mil is a good operating distance for this one with a 1 gram piece, which is quite good. Again, it does come with different size detector heads. This was just with the basic settings on the 2300 and with the coil that comes in the box. So let's move on to the 6000. This is the newest in the MINELAB fleet. How did that compare? Well, basically what was really interesting is the 11 and the 14 inch coils, they both actually did the same depth. I think from memory it was around the 250 to 300 mark. It did cap out at the 300. You'd comfortably ping it at 250 nice and easy. Now, how did that compare to the bigger coil? The brand new coil actually got an extra 50 mil more, an extra 2 inches. So that did go to about 300. It didn't go to 350, but you did get some more depth on the bigger coil, which I thought was kind of cool. Now, how did that compare? How did the 6000, the new coil, the new detector, compare to the GPZ 7000? Did they go to the same depth? So just having a look, so how did it compare? Well, basically we did 3 different settings with the 7000. We did the high yield, the general, and the extra deep. What was really interesting is the high yield actually got the best results, which is the standard one when you set the settings in the 7000, got the best results. That went all the way up to 450 depth, okay? That was by far the winner. The extra deep and also the general setting that you have in here, they both capped out at about that 300 to 350 mark, which was about on par with the big mono coil for the 6000. Now this detector, the 6000, is a couple of grand cheaper. You will have to buy a coil, so there's not much in it. Now I know before anyone comments in the comments, the 7000 does have bigger coils, right? And also the settings may be different for bigger bits of gold. We only did a test like a gram. I mean, in the end, the winner, the 7000 reigned supreme at an easy extra 100 mil depth than sort of the 6000, and obviously totally murdered the 2300. Now, it depends on what you want to use these detectors for, okay? Probably the 2300, just ping smaller bits, be close to the surface. The 1000 has a range of different options with its coils. And the 7000, I feel, is just a perfect all-rounder, and you'll pick the big and the small pieces along the way. Obviously, there's different price points. The blue one here, the 2300, starts at around 5 grand. This, the GPX 6000 starts at about 8 grand, and you'll pay somewhere between 9 for a 7000. So obviously, price comparable, the 7000 you would expect is the better detector still. At depth with a 1 gram piece. Guys, if you have any comments or questions on how we could have done this test better, or any feedback or anything, please let us know. Other than that, we look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.